And now it's time for blushes. In this video, I am going to go through this entire drawer. This is like one of the Alex drawers full of my blushes. And I am going to do a brutal declutter. My hope is to declutter at least 50% of what I have in this drawer. Hey, howdy, hey y'all, Leanna here. I'm going to take just a second to, well, just a second for you. It's going to be more than a second for me to kind of organize these so that we can get started. I'm predicting that this is going to be another long video because I will be doing swatches. So get a snack, get a drink, cuddle up in your blankie, and let's get it on. My inventory spreadsheet says that I have 86 total blushes. I have a feeling that that is incorrect, but I will be correcting the spreadsheet as we go. Okay, I actually pared that down quite a bit just in organizing. I had some things classified wrong, so some things I was able to move, and right now my spreadsheet is showing me 66. Now those items that I moved will still be in a future declutter when I get to that section. So the first item that I'm going to start out with is this cream blush. This is Fenty, and I depotted it 3-4 years ago. I don't even remember the name of it. It's very glowy and it's starting to feel a little dry. And because it's so glowy, I mean, you can't really tell it there, I'm going to go ahead and declutter that one. Next, I have these 4 AOA liquid blushes. My camera is backwards. I have not touched these since I did a video about them. And from what I remember, there was nothing wrong with them. This is just not necessarily a delivery system that I would easily use. I would prefer something else other than for it to look like a nail polish. Nothing wrong with it. They're very sheer. I'm sure that they're buildable. But I know that I'm not going to use these, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter them. Next, I have these 2 Dominique Cosmetics cream blushes. This one is soft pink, and this one is warm peach. And I have used both of these. I like them, so I know that I'm not going to declutter them. But I see that I need to use them because that felt a little dry. But it's very pretty. That's the pink. And that's the peach. Am I going to use that peach realistically? Am I? I had no intention of decluttering either of these, but they do feel dry. I had to really rub on those to, I mean, they're creamy underneath when you break the seal. Let me put these over here in the maybe pile. I may not be keeping those. Another brand that I have no intention of decluttering, we'll see. These are my LYS cream blushes, and I love these. This one is Inspire, and then we have Passion. This one is Soft Love, which is a beautiful shade. And then this one is Confident. I have used these quite a bit. Now let's see. They're still very creamy. This is Self Love. So pretty. Look how pigmented that is. This one is Inspire. Ooh, this one is Passion. And this one is Confident. They're so pretty and they're so creamy. And I know that looks like a lot, but they will buff out very nice. I mean, I got a good swatch when I was swatching them. But I love these. And I am definitely keeping all 4 of them. I have these 2 Laura Geller Serum Blush Cheek Tints. And this one is Poppy Peach and this one is Practical Pink. One of them I believe I have used. They have the sponge applicator. This is the one that I have used. This is Poppy Peach. And you just click and then you dab, and it's very wet. Now I don't know if that's because they've been sitting. Laura Geller has nice products. I love their baked products, but I did not like this when I first received it. It's just not my thing. I mean, if you were trying to dab this over top of your bronzer and foundation, I feel like it would lift your product off of your face. Now, if you don't wear those products, then this would be good for a very natural flush of color. But I'm going to declutter both of these. Next, I have this Ulta Beauty. This is the Pretty Grunge. It is a blush gloss. And I don't think I knew what I was buying when I bought it. It confuses me. It's very sticky. And I don't know if it's supposed to change. I mean, I don't know if that pigment on my finger is from where I was doing the LYS, but I just don't understand this product. So I'm going to, unfortunately, declutter it. I have a Beauty for Certain cream blush, and I have never used it. I believe that I have another cream blush that's this shade, so I'm not going to swatch that. I'm going to set it to the side, because if I do, then I will put this in my Mercari store. These are my Tower 28 cream blushes. These are very nice. I do not anticipate decluttering these. This one is Magic Hour, and they're still nice and creamy. And this is After Hours. Beautiful shades. And these as well, I mean, they're very pigmented, but you can shear them out and build them up. Very nice. I'm keeping both of those. These 6 little cream blushes are also from AOA Studio, and these as well I have not touched since I swatched them in my haul video. Look at how dark that is. My goodness. Oh, that's pretty. They're very pigmented. Now see, I was planning on decluttering these. I don't know if I have. I don't know, that Tower 28 is probably up. That's the same shade. What was that? That was Parasol. This is Bonnet. This is Vanity. Look at how pretty that pink is. They're still very creamy. Oh, that's pink. These were very reasonable. If you're looking for an affordable blush, this one is really pretty. This is Tea Party. Oh, look how pretty that is. That's like a peachy terracotta. Do I have that shade? I might have to keep that one. This is Cake. This one's pretty too, but I believe that I probably have that shade as well. Look at how pigmented they are. I think these were like $1.88 a piece or something like that. They were very reasonable. And this one is Duchess. This is definitely a Leanna shade. Look at how pretty that is. Those are gorgeous and very pigmented for the price that you pay for them. Am I getting rid of those or am I putting them in the maybe pile? My goodness. I had no intention of keeping those, to tell you the truth. But I have not touched them in a while, and so swatching them again. Maybe I should do this declutter without swatching stuff. Let me move those over to the maybe pile and we'll revisit. This is Melt Cosmetics and it's Pink Sand, and it is a cream blush light. And it's very pretty. It's just very soft. And I do not have anything like this, so I'm going to keep that. Then I have this Tarte Breezy Cream Blush in Peach Sunset, which is really pretty, and I did enjoy this when I used it. It's a very nice light. Oh, that would be a beautiful spring shade. I'm going to keep that. I may move that into my spring makeup basket since that's what I currently have going. And I have 3 Sydney Grace cream blushes. They have finally started doing their cream blushes in these pans, which is so much better than these little jars. The jars are very hard to get a brush into unless you're using a tiny brush. And I just have this because it didn't come with the compact. I have this in a Magnetic Makeup Geek compact. This is called Cherry Blossom. I didn't wipe my hand off. Look at how creamy. It's very, very creamy. It might be a little too creamy. Does that look like the Tarte? No, I think they're different. Look at how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. I love that. This is one bad thing about having too much makeup, because there's so many products that I love and I only have one face. I got one face. Put the Tarte back. I'm definitely keeping all of my Sydney Grace. This is Rosebud, and it was in this little jar, and I rehomed it into this empty Becca container so that I could use it with a brush. Very, very creamy. Look at how pretty that is. I love this blush. I am currently using this. It is currently in my spring basket. And this one is My Love. And I have not used this yet. I have swatched it. That one's very pretty too. Very soft. Beautiful spring blush. These are my 3 e.l.f. putty blushes. I don't anticipate getting rid of any of these. I love all 3 of these shades. So hard to read with the little sticker that they have on here. I need to put a sticker on there and write on there what it is so I can read it. This is Caribbean. These are still very creamy. They're a cream to powder, and of course they're buildable. This is Tahiti. And this one is Maldives. I love that. I love that they're so pigmented, but then they just sheer out so nicely, and they're so soft when they go from that cream to powder. When I am ready to use these, I will put them in a different container like I did the Sydney Grace to make it easier to use them. But I'm keeping all 3 of these. I have 2 of the Keys Soul Care, and again in these little tiny jars. They're just hard to use. This one is Grace, and this one is Sensual. They're so pretty, but I feel like I already have these shades. And I do love Alicia Keys. I may not have that one, but I think I'm going to declutter these. I have already decided that I'm going to declutter this and put that in my Mercari store. Next is my MAC. This is the Rosie Does It Glow Play Powder Blush. Now, I know I'm doing my cream blushes, but this is a cream, but then when you put it on, it's a powder. I love this formula so much. It is just gorgeous. It is one of my favorites. You can see the dent in it where I have been using it. I'm definitely keeping this and hope to one day in 2039, when I finally used up all these blushes I have, buy another one. This is my Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it is Soft Rose, and it is a stick blush. It's very pretty. It has a brush on the other end that you can use to sheer it out, but I find just using a regular brush works better. But I love this shade, and I'm definitely keeping that. I have this NYX Wonder Stick, which is dual-ended cream blush stick. So it has 2 blush shades. This side is coral and this side is deep peach. So this is coral. Very pretty. And this is deep peach. which is also very pretty. I have used this product a couple of times, so I think I'm going to keep it. My hand hates me right now. This is my Merit, and it is in the shade Beverly Hills, and this is a very nice blush. It's very soft. Merit's products are made to look very natural on your skin. I think I'm going to keep that. This is Undone Beauty, and it is in the shade Peach, and I believe that this is a water blush. Yes, it is a water blush. Let's see if we can get the camera to focus. Has this little cap on it. It's very pretty. It's a pretty shade. It's almost, I don't know, it's very moisturizing. It's not really jelly, but it's very moisturizing. But I feel like that would disturb whatever makeup you were putting it on top of. You could use a brush, I suppose, but I think I'm going to declutter that. This is from She Glam, and it is a Color Bloom liquid blush, and it's in the shade Float On. And I've had this for quite a while. It still smells good. It's a pretty shade, but it's not a shade that I would gravitate towards, so I am going to declutter that. I have two blushes from Danessa Myricks. The first one is Vision Flush, and it is in the shade Ballet Slippers, and this is a beautiful, beautiful shade. You don't need a lot of it, and it looks like it's crazy pigmented, but then when you pat it out, it's just a beautiful soft flush of color. Hence the name Vision Flush. Look at how pretty that is. I love this. It's a beautiful shade. I'm keeping that. And this is the Color Fix Mattes. It's a waterproof liquid pigment, and you can use it for eye, lip, or cheek. And I decided to put it in the cheek category. Probably would be really pretty on the lips. It is very pigmented. I mean, it doesn't take anything to use that. I would probably do that and then tap my brush into it to put it on my face. It is so pretty. That would be very pretty on the lips. I wonder, maybe I should try that. Beautiful. Definitely keeping. Next I have this Rare Beauty. This is new. I just got this at the end of 2024 when I went to Ohio to visit with Andy from Andy Does Stuff. So I know that I am keeping this. Very pretty. Very creamy. Beautiful shade. I think I've only used it once. This is Eye Method, and it is in the shade Sun-Kissed Peachy Coral Red, which is a very nice shade. I have not used this in quite a while. I don't know. No, it's not dried out at all. It's very pretty, and it shears out very nice, very affordable. You can find these on Amazon. But I have not touched that, and it's not for any reason. I mean, that's a very pretty spring summer color. You know, when you have a nice tan, this type of shade looks amazing on you. I'm not sure that I have anything that is quite this shade. Let me put it in the maybe pile and we'll revisit. This is my nude stick. It says all over bronze color and it's in the shade Sun-Kissed, but when I used this as a bronze shade, it looked too much like a blush to me. It is definitely too warm for me to use as a bronzer. A cooler toned bronzer looks better on me. It just looks like a blush. I think I'm going to keep this in the blush category and see if I can't get some use out of it and decide then if it will stay or go. I need to quit wiping my hand off so much. This is Delance and it is in the shade Arturum After Moon. And I remember when I used this, when I got it, that I really liked it. But I'm thinking I am probably going to declutter because I think that I have other shades that look like that. Yes, I'm going to declutter that one. Then I have this Mud Masky Glowy Illuminating Blush Drops. And that looks more like a highlighter to me than blush drops. But I know I'm not going to use it that way. So I'm going to declutter that. And I already know that I'm going to declutter this Halo Glow Beauty Wand. Rose You Slay is the shade. These, do you see how that's popping out? This was a terrible packaging idea. You see how it's, you see that gap right there? That's where it's coming loose, and these are just a hot mess. And they're very, very glowy. I don't mind a little bit of glow, but this is too much glow over top of my blush. So, yep, that's going. Revisiting the maybe pile. Since I can't remember what any of these 6 shades are, if it was something that I really, really wanted, I would remember. So I'm going to declutter those. I'm going to declutter the eye method. I really don't want to declutter these Dominique shades. But I'm 99% positive that I have both of these in a blush, a cream blush palette from Danessa Myricks, especially this one. So I'm going to declutter those. Wow. Who am I? So those were all of my cream, liquid, stick blushes. Let's move on to powders. We're going to start off with my Laura Geller Blush and Brighten blushes. I love these baked formulas. This one is Pink Buttercream. Then we have Tropical Hues. And this one is Pink Grapefruit. And they're gorgeous. They're just gorgeous. I love them. I know I'm not getting rid of any of these. They're not showing up very well because my skin is stained from all of the blush swatches. Well, that's a little bit better. So pretty. I love them. So I'm keeping all of those. These are my e.l.f. Primer Infused Blushes. This is Always Rosy, Always Punchy, and Always Earthy. And I have no intention of decluttering these. Let's swatch them and see what happens. So this one is Always Rosy. It's Always Punchy. And Always Earthy. I love that pink. This one has always been my favorite out of the three. But I am definitely going to keep all three of those. These are my Pat McGrath Labs blushes. This one is Desert Orchid. And this one is Paradise Venus. I have used the Paradise Venus quite a bit. It is a very pretty shade. I've not used this one as much. That's a pretty shade as well. However, I feel like the e.l.f. shades were probably a little bit better. Do I want to keep these? I'm going to put them in the maybe pile. I might declutter those. I have 3 Color Pop. This is a Super Shock blush. This is a Super Shock blush, and this says Super Shock Cheek. This is in the shade Yes She Did. I have used this quite often. That feels a little dry. This is Chiffon. It has a very pretty pink peach shift to it, and it's very soft. And this is Birthday Suit, which looks hard pan to me, and it feels hard panned. Hardly any color payoff. I did not think that I was going to declutter these, but I think I am. That chiffon would be a pretty eye topper. You see the shift in it? But am I going to use it as that? Probably not. So I am going to declutter those, which surprises me. This is new to me. This is the Rare Beauty Truth powdered blush, and I had no intention of buying this because it's very glowy, and I'm not a big fan of a glowy blush. But when I put my finger in it, it was so buttery soft that I had to. Look how pretty that is. It is just gorgeous. So I am keeping that. Right before I started my channel, I bought some blush products and attempted to depot them. I didn't do so hot. I mean, I didn't do too bad with like the BH Cosmetics, but I'm sad that I depotted it because now it's in this and I never reach for it. I don't even know what this one is, and I bet it doesn't tell me. It doesn't. No clue what that is. These are Alamar, and this is a Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, and I don't believe that I'm going to keep any of these. I thought that I might keep these BH, but they feel very dried out. My camera does not want to pick it up. They seem to be kind of dry. There's not a whole lot of payoff going on. So I think I'm going to declutter everything that's in this palette. I have these two Makeup Geek blushes, and they are really dark. I feel like they're too dark for my skin, even though I could probably shear them out. But I feel like I'm only keeping them because they're Makeup Geek, so I'm going to declutter those, which shocks me. Shocking. This is Benefit Georgia Peach, and that's really light, and it looks, when you swatch it, it looks like a highlighter. I'll swatch it. It looks more like a highlighter than it does a blush, so I'm going to declutter that. This is a Sydney Grace single blush, and it is in the shade Mauve Delight, and it is a delight. It's a very nice shade. Look how pretty that is. I love it. I'm definitely keeping that. I have a Patrick Ta, and it's a very pretty shade. Look at how pretty that is. Gorgeous. This is in the shade She's Passionate. I got that in a subscription box. I think it came in a BoxyCharm. I think I'm going to keep it. I have this little bitty Ibby, or IBY, however you want to pronounce that brand name. Did I just break a fingernail? This is a very pretty blush, very pigmented. This is Sun-Kissed. Great little blush to throw in your purse or if you're traveling. So I think I'm going to keep that. This is Delance, and it is in the shade 04. They just have a number. And I remember that I really liked this when I got it and was swatching it, but I don't know that I'm going to keep it. It is pretty on the cheeks. What to do? Let me put that over there with the Pat McGrath. Here's another MAC. This is in the shade Melba, and I know I'm keeping this because I love it. This is a gorgeous shade. It's so, so soft. Look at how pretty that is. Keeping that one. Then I have this Essence, the blush, and it is in the shade Befitting. I feel like when I used this, I didn't get a lot of payoff from it. Although I did that time. That is pretty. I don't know if it was just using it with the brush. I'm going to keep it, and then if it doesn't perform well when I go to use it, then I will declutter it at that time. This is my Persona. I love this blush. It's difficult to open. It's my problem with it. This is Caramel. It's so pretty. I've used this quite a bit. Look at how pretty that is. So I know that I'm keeping that one. I have this Novo blush. It says Silky Rouge, and it's Pretty For You, I think is the shade name. I got this from Temu. And it's very pretty. I believe it's very pigmented too, and this is like what, under $1. But I believe I have this shade in other brands, so I'm going to declutter that one. And then I have 4 Milani, and I already know that I'm going to declutter this one. I think I'm going to put this one in my Halloween makeup. It is so So pretty, just gorgeous, but I mean, I'm not going to wear that on an everyday basis. It's just not going to happen. But it would be pretty in my Halloween kit. Look at it. I mean, it's gorgeous, but it's very, very glowy for me, for everyday makeup. So I'm going to declutter that one. This one is 05 Luminoso, and I'm probably going to declutter this one as well, because again, I'm just not real big on glowy blushes. Although look at how pretty that is. But I never reach for it. I just don't reach for it. These two were the first Milani blushes that I purchased, and I really did love them. I have not used them in quite a while. This one is Bronze Burst, and I just always swirled. And this one is Pink Play. But now that I'm looking at them, oh, man, I think I'm going to declutter this one and keep the pink so that I have something that is kind of pink. I have two Mora, and I'm not going to lie, I bought these because of the embossing. The embossing is just beautiful. I don't know what it is, but I have this thing about embossed makeup. Look at that pigment. I was going to declutter that, but I think I'll keep it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to declutter this one because this is not a shade that I would wear. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. I don't even know if you could put that on soft enough, maybe. Gosh, that's pretty. I know I'm keeping this one. I'm going to declutter that one. And then the last two are these Koki. And I did the same with these because of that embossing. I just love that embossing. Is so pretty. That is definitely not a shade that I would wear, so I'm going to declutter that. These are very soft. I do kind of like that one. I don't have anything else that is quite that shade, I don't think. So I think for now I'm going to keep that one. And I think I'm going to declutter these three. I don't even know who I am. What a huge difference from where I started. So, like I said, I did recategorize some of the palettes and put them in with my face palettes. I will be doing a declutter of those as well. So once I went through my entire spreadsheet, moved things around, added some things that weren't in there, I ended up with 66 products. I'm decluttering 27 and keeping 39. It is not quite 50%, but it's incredibly close. And I'm very happy because now when I open this drawer, I can actually see what's in here and grab things that I love and want to actually use. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of my blush declutter. Do you have any of the same blushes that I kept? Do you have any that I'm decluttering? And do you think that some of the ones I decluttered maybe I should have kept? Let me know. I appreciate you hanging out with me. There will be more decluttering videos coming very soon. Before you go, show that like button some love, and I will see you in my next video. Okay, love you, bye.